Stop.
Sí.
See that? And that's how we're going to enter
Y así es como vamos a entrar
the New Jerusalem.
en la Nueva Jerusalén.
Blessed be that day.
Baruch sea ese yo.
Blessed be that day.
Baruch sea ese yo.
That will be a day that we have waited for
Que será un yom al que hemos estado esperando
all these years.
todos estos años.
You're going to do a sound check for me.
Yes.
Oh, make sure we're in sync, please. All these years, I did.
Todos estos años.
We're going to enter our reward
Vamos a entrar en nuestro galardón
with the song of Moshe. Oh, Christian friends who are new to this understanding, please return to the song of Moses. If you love me, John, Yochanan 14:15. If you love me, you will keep my commandments. And if you love me and you are not keeping my commandments, it's because no one has instructed you on how I want to be loved. I know you love me. I know many, many thousands around the world. They truly love Yeshua, or Jesus as they know him. But they're still disobedient to his request. Actually, it's not a suggestion, it's a command. Yes? Yeshua presupposes that you love him. So he says, okay, since you love me, keep my commandments. Okay? So now we're at a crossroads. Do we keep the commandments of men? Do we let them tell us and instruct us? Or do we go to the 5 books of Moses for the instructions? Not the law, the instructions. Because after we got saved, Yeshua came and said to us, okay, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. And then we're at that very, very important crossroads. A very dangerous place to be. A wonderful opportunity, but also a dangerous place to be. Because there are many, many winds of doctrine and men who are lying in wait and craftiness to try to trick you and make you disciples of themselves. Also, they're trying to make you, we're fully in sync, disciples of themselves.
I didn't check that. We've got to check it.
Oh, you need to do that, please. Double check. Or, Yeshua, when we keep his commandments, we are his disciples, right? So, if we love him, we will keep his commandments, Yochanan 14:15. And then, of course, in 1 John, it comforts us as we begin to live like Israel, as we begin to experience the joy of being Israel. Remember what the scriptures tell us in Yochanan Aleph, in 1 John. And we know that we have passed from death to life if we keep his commandments and love the brethren. And listen, his commandments are not grievous. They're not a burden, because they come from the Father to instruct us, not to weigh us down with religion. See? So, the works of the law that is spoken about throughout the New Testament and in Galatians, throughout the Brit Hadashah, there are warnings about the works of the law. And one place you will never find that expression, the works of the law, is in the scriptures. Okay? In the first covenant, in the Torah as well, there is no such term as the works of the law. So that is a rabbinic term that the Brit Hadashah uses to warn believers to walk in the loving instructions of the Father, so that we could love Yeshua the way he wants to be loved, and not fall prey to the works of the law. Because the works of the law are made by men. The works of the law are the additions and the inventions of men. You follow me? So let us understand, whenever we come across that term, the works of law in the Brit Hadashah, in the renewed covenant, promised to both houses of Israel, it is a warning not to fall prey to the rabbinical commandments or the commandments that men have added to the instructions. The instructions are pure. The instructions are simple. The works of the law, or the additions of men, are very, very hard. They're grievous. They're a burden. And they serve no purpose. Because you're not loving him by keeping his commandments if you're keeping somebody else's commandments. You follow me? You know, you're loving the person who makes up the commandments. So if you're following by error, what's up?
The audio is ahead of the video.
On which
A
one?
few seconds on both.
On both?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just slightly.
Slightly? Okay, so we'll make an adjustment during the break. So if you're, we'll take a break shortly. If you're following
Si estás siguiendo
the works of law
las obras de la ley
or the commandments of men,
o los mandamientos de los hombres,
it's sad, but it's true.
es triste, pero es la realidad.
You are loving
Estás amando
the inventor
al inventor
of the command,
de la orden,
because the principle is the same.
porque el principio es el mismo.
If you love me, keep my
Si me
commandments.
amas, guarda mis mandamientos.
So our lives get out of balance and our lives get out of whack.
Así que nuestras vidas se desbalancean.
And we follow some of the commandments in
Seguimos
Scripture,
algunos de los mandamientos en la Escritura,
plus some of the commandments of religion.
más algunos de los mandamientos en la religión.
So our heart is divided.
Así que nuestro corazón está dividido.
You follow me?
¿Me entiende?
We're loving Yeshua
Estamos amando a Yahshua
when we follow his loving instructions.
cuando seguimos sus instrucciones de ahabá, de amor.
But
de
what
aprecio.
happens when we're following the instructions
Pero ¿qué pasa cuando seguimos las instrucciones
of men
de los hombres
that cannot be found or they're not based
que no se pueden encontrar o no están basadas
on the word of Yahuwah?
en la palabra de Yahuwah?
That's called idolatry.
Eso se llama idolatría.
We love Yeshua,
Amamos a Yahshua,
but we also love some of those
pero
commandments.
igual amamos algunos de esos mandamientos.
You follow me?
¿Me entiende?
Because we're doing some of
Porque
his
estamos haciendo algunos de ellos
and we're doing some of theirs.
y algunos de los de ellos.
And that's a violation of the first and greatest commandment found in Matthew 22.
Y esa es una de las mayores transgresiones encontradas en Mateo 22.
Shema Yisrael Yahuwah Eloheinu Yahuwah Echad.
Shema Israel, oye Israel, Yahuwah nuestro Elohim, Yahuwah uno es.
And you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim
Y amarás a Yahuwah tu Elohim
with all your heart,
con todo tu corazón,
with all your soul,
con todo tu ser,
with all your mind,
con toda tu mente,
and with all your strength.
con todas tus
And when we
fuerzas.
take some of our strength and our mind and our heart and we follow the traditions of men,
Y cuando tomamos algo de nuestro corazón,
We
nuestra
serve
mente y
two
nuestras
masters.
fuerzas y obedecemos las instrucciones del hombre,
Yeshua
estamos
said,
sirviendo a dos amos. Yahshua dijo,
you cannot serve two masters.
no puedes servir a dos amos.
You will love one and hate the other,
Amarás a uno y despreciarás, odiarás al otro,
or you will despise one
o despreciarás a uno
and cling to the other.
y te aferrarás a otro, al otro.
Be careful
Cuidado
of the commandments of men.
de los mandamientos de los hombres.
They're a trap
Son una trampa
to pull a part of your heart,
para jalar
a part of your
parte
strength,
de tu corazón,
a
parte
part of your
de
mind.
tu fuerza, parte de tu mente,
away from the one who bought you with a price.
lejos de aquel quien te compró con un precio.
You are bought with a price.
Eres comprado con un precio.
Therefore, everyone listening to my voice on this midweek unity service,
Por lo tanto, todos los que estén escuchando el sonido
go ahead!
en este servicio a la mitad de la
Go ahead!
adelante.
and glorify Yahuwah
y exalten Yahuwah,
with your
a
body,
Yahuwah, con su cuerpo,
your soul,
con su ser,
your
con
mind.
su mente,
You know the rest,
y conocen el resto,
which are Yahuwah's.
que son de Yahuwah.
And all who have heard the word of correction
Y todos los que han oído la palabra de la corrección,
say, Amen, Amen.
digan amén y amén.
Brothers and sisters, it's no accident that in Chazon, Revelation 15,
Fraternos y fraternas, no hay accidente que en Jasón, Revelación 15,
the redeemed of the Father
los redimidos del Abba,
have been given two songs.
se les ha dado a los dos, se les ha dado dos
And my Christian
entonaciones.
brothers and sisters, because no one has come and taught them.
Y a mis fraternos y fraternas cristianos, por cuanto nadie ha venido a enseñarles,
They would follow, but many times no one has taught them.
seguirían, pero nadie les ha venido a enseñar.
They're singing the wrong song.
Están entonando la entonación
Jesus,
equivocada.
Jesus, 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 and they're not singing the song of Moses.
Jesús, 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 y no están entonando la entonación de Moshe.
My rabbinical Jewish friends
A mis amigos rabinicales judíos
are in much worse condition
están en peor condición,
because all they're doing is singing what?
porque lo único que están entonando es que,
The song of Moses.
entonación de Moshe.
Moisés, Moisés, Moisés.
Moisés, Moisés, Moisés.
La 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 la. But Yahweh wants to add to the lev de Moisés la 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 of Cordero in addition to la ley de Moisés.
Sí, pero Yahuwah quiere agregar la entonación del cordero, no solo la entonación.
So man, you need to check how you're walking your walk with the Messiah.
Así que necesitas chequear cómo estás caminando con Mashiach.
Or how, for the Jews who don't know Yeshua,
O para los Yahudim que no conocen a
how they're
Mashiach,
walking in the world.
cómo están caminando en el mundo.
This is how we walk through those 12 gates,
Así es como caminamos a través de esas dos entradas,
which is the final proof positive
que es la última prueba positiva,
that according to John 10:14 through
que
17,
de acuerdo a Yohanan 10, 14 a 17,
Yeshua died for two flocks.
Yahushua murió por dos
He
rebaños.
told the Jewish flock, I love you and I'm going to die for you and lay down my life for you. Therefore does my Father love me, because I lay down my life and I pick it up again.
Le dijo al rebaño Yahudí, los amo y por eso voy a dar mi vida, voy a morir por ustedes y por eso me ama el Abba, porque doy mi vida y tengo el poder de tomarla de nuevo.
But another flock I have,
Pero tengo otro rebaño,
the 10 tribes.
las 10 tribus.
I didn't forget about them.
No me he olvidado de ellos.
And whether you understand it or you like it, it doesn't matter.
Y si lo entienden o les gusta, no importa.
I must bring them in.
Tengo que
The
traerlos.
Father has sent me
El Abba me ha enviado
to bring them in.
a hacerlos venir.
And then when I bring them in,
Y cuando los haga venir, los haya traído,
there will be one flock,
habrá un solo rebaño.
one fold.
Un solo.
The Greek word
Rebaño.
for one is the Greek word mia,
La palabra en griego para uno es la palabra mía,
which is the cognate
que es el cognato equivalente
of the Hebrew
del hebreo
echad.
echad.
So he takes these two unfaithful spiritual whores
Así que toma estas dos rameras desleales que no son guiadas por la rúa,
cleans us up,
nos limpia,
pardons
nos
us,
perdona,
marries all of
se
us
casa con todos nosotros.
as he practices marriage
Al practicar su convenio de casamiento
with more than one.
con más de una.
Because if he was like religion
Porque si él fuera como la religión,
has invented him,
como la religión lo ha inventado a él,
he would only love one person.
él solo amaría a una sola persona.
He would be married to only one person in the world.
Solo estaría casado con una sola persona en el
But that's not
mundo.
what the scriptures teach.
Pero eso no es lo que enseñan las
He
escrituras.
is the husband
Él es el marido
to all of us.
a todos nosotros.
And so he practices
Y entonces él practica
agape love.
Ahava, aprecio agape.
And what is agape love?
¿Y qué es el aprecio agape?
It's a love that is not given to one but to many, and it is a love that is not monopolized and received by one, but is received by all of his wives.
Es un aprecio, un amor que no solo se le da a una persona, pero que se le da a muchas y que no es recibido o controlado o manipulado por una sola persona, porque se le ha dado a muchas personas, a muchas esposas,
You see?
muchas novias.
The kingdom of Yahuwah.
El reino de Yahuwah, ¿ven?
In Matthew
En Mateo
25
25
is like 10 virgins,
es como 10 vírgenes,
5 wise and 5 foolish.
5 sabias y 5 insensatas.
Now you'll notice that all 10
Y
virgins
notarán que todas las 10 vírgenes
are married to who?
están casadas ¿con quién?
To Yeshua.
Con Yahshua.
You see that?
¿Ven eso?
Now there are some wise,
Hay algunas que son sabias,
there are some foolish.
hay algunas que son insensatas,
Some have no spirit, no Torah.
algunas no tienen ruach del espíritu, no tienen Torah,
And the
instrucción.
5 dumb virgins
Y las 5 vírgenes tontas
had no oil.
no tienen aceite,
They didn't believe in the gifts of the Ruach
no creyeron en los dones de la
and
ruach
in the constant need to be filled.
y en la necesidad constante de ser
Not a
rellenadas,
one-time event.
no un evento de una sola vez.
And it's possible that some of them didn't sing the song of Moses
Y es posible que algunas de ellas no entonaban la entonación de
because
Moshe,
the Torah is oil.
porque Torah es aceite.
Romans chapter 7.
Romanos
The
7,
Torah is oil.
la Torah es
The
aceite,
Torah is spiritual.
la Torah es
So if
espiritual.
you're missing the Torah
Así que si no tienes Torah,
or the constant infilling,
ni el constante rellenamiento,
Ephesians 5.
Efesios 5,
Be not drunk with wine,
no se embriaguen con vino,
but be constantly refilled.
pero constantemente sean rellenos,
Constantly refilled
constantemente rellenados
with the Ruach.
de la Ruach.
And so we need the song of the Lamb
Y por lo tanto necesitamos la entonación del Cordero
and we need the song of Moses
y la de Moshe
to be wise.
para ser sabios.
But make no mistake,
Pero no cometan el error
Yahuwah does not
de
practice
pensar que Yahuwah no practica
marriage
el casamiento
according to the Western
de
culture
acuerdo a lo que hace la cultura
and the
occidental,
Greco-Roman pagan ways that we have adopted.
los caminos grecorromanos paganos que
Oh, no,
hemos
my friend.
adoptado. Para nada, amigos.
He does not
Él no
practice
practica
monogamy.
la monogamía.
He has plural
Él tiene plural,
covenants.
convenios plurales.
One with you,
Un convenio
one with
contigo,
you,
otro contigo,
one with
otro
you,
contigo.
all the precious folks we had last night
Todas las personas preciosas que con las que estuvimos ayer por
who
la
were all
mañana,
forgiven
que todas han sido perdonadas
at the Forgiven Church.
en la iglesia perdonada.
They're all married to him.
Todas esas personas están casadas con él
And they have different names and different social security
y
numbers.
tienen números diferentes y números de seguro social diferentes.
So we don't want to create God
Así que no queremos crear a Elohim, a Dios,
in our image.
a nuestra
We
imagen.
want to accept him
Queremos aceptarlo
as he has revealed himself
así como él se ha revelado ser
to man.
al hombre.
Now you understand why he allowed
Entonces ahí puedes comprender cómo es que
many
él
prophets
permitió
and holy men
que muchos profetas y hombres kadosh
to have more than one wife.
tuvieran más de una esposa,
Because he himself
porque él mismo
allows it.
lo permite.
As a matter of fact, saves the
Y
world
es más, rescata al mundo
by that principle.
a través de ese principio.
Man has perverted it,
El hombre lo ha pervertido,
just like man has perverted monogamy.
así como el hombre ha pervertido la monogamía.
Yes?
¿Sí?
When a husband beats his wife,
Cuando un marido golpea a su esposa,
when a wife yells and curses her husband,
cuando una esposa le grita o maldice a su marido,
man has abused
el hombre ha abusado
monogamy,
la monogamía,
just like man has abused
así como el hombre ha abusado
Torah marriage.
del convenio de casamiento de acuerdo a
So the
Torah.
problem is not with marriage.
Así que el problema no es con el tipo de casamiento,
The problem is with the heart.
el problema es con el corazón.
So let our hearts
Así que permitamos que nuestros
and our
corazones y
minds
nuestras mentes
be renewed.
sean renovados.
Romans commands.
Romanos nos
It's not a
ordena.
suggestion.
No hay ahí una sugerencia.
There are 1,050 commands
Hay 1500 órdenes,
in the
mandamientos
renewed covenant.
en el convenio renovado.
There are only 613
Solo hay 613
in the first covenant.
en el primer convenio.
So People say the New Testament is grace.
La gente dice que el Nuevo Convenio es la gracia
The Old Testament is law.
y que el Viejo Testamento es ley.
How's that possible?
¿Cómo es eso
There are
posible?
more commandments
Hay más mandamientos
in the New Testament.
en el Nuevo Testamento.
1,050.
1500
I counted them.
los conté.
And the old one,
1050, perdón, los conté.
1,050. What was that?
I added, perdón.
And then in
Son
the
1050.
in the Old Testament,
Y en el viejo, Antiguo
there's nothing
Testamento,
old about it.
no hay nada viejo de él.
There's allegedly
Alegadamente,
613.
hay 613.
But some of those are counted twice.
Pero algunos de esos se cuentan dos
The
veces.
same commandment is in Leviticus and Deuteronomy. They count it twice.
Porque si encontramos
It's really
el mismo
one.
mandamiento, lo vemos en Deuteronomio y luego en Levítico
So-
o Números, se cuenta dos veces
So
en
the-
lugar de una sola vez.
So the actual total is more like 413.
Así que el total en realidad es cerca de unos 413.
So our understanding has been all messed up.
Así que nuestro entendimiento ha sido todo
Noah,
perdido.
chapter 9.
Noé, capítulo 9.
Bereshit,
Génesis, Bereshit.
Genesis,
Génesis.
found grace.
Noé encontró gracia, ternura.
Abraham in
Favor.
Bereshit, Genesis 15,
Abraham en Génesis 15
found grace.
encontró la ternura.
It says that he,
La
he
gracia.
believed in the promise of physical multiplicity.
Dice que él creyó ahí en la promesa de la multiplicidad física,
That the world would be Melo HaGoyim,
que el mundo sería Melo Hagoyim,
full of nations
repleto de
that came
naciones,
from him,
que vendrían de él,
the father of all
el
nations.
Abba de todas las naciones.
And then through Jacob, Israel,
Y luego a través de Jacob,
who
Israel,
would become the Melo HaGoyim,
quien sería Melo Hagoyim,
The
la
f-
plenitud de las
the
naciones.
fullness of the nations.
La plenitud de las naciones.
How did he get saved?
¿Cómo fue redimido?
It says, it is written.
Dice, está escrito.
And Abraham believed in Yahuwah's promise.
Y Abraham creyó en la promesa de
How
Yahweh.
many promises?
¿Cuántas promesas?
One.
Una sola
Which
promesa. ¿Cuál?
Physical
La
multiplicity.
multiplicidad física.
And it was counted to
Y
him
se le contó a él
for righteousness.
para rectitud.
See that?
¿Lo ven?
So was that grace?
Así que era esa ternura.
What did Abraham do?
¿Qué hizo Abraham?
Nothing.
Nada.
Nothing.
Nada.
He found grace.
Encontró la ternura, la
As he was asleep.
gracia.
You're not
mientras
listening.
que él dormía.
I wish you were listening.
Me gustaría que estuvieran escuchando. Pongan atención.
He found grace
Encontró la gesed, la
when he was
ternura,
sleeping.
mientras que dormía.
He cut the pieces
Cortó las piezas
and the lamp,
y la lámpara
the fire of Yah,
del fuego de Yahuwah,
the cloven tongues,
de las... What do you mean?
the same fire of tongues,
El mismo fuego de lenguas
walked through the broken pieces,
caminó a través de las piezas
symbolic of
quebrantadas,
Abraham's broken life,
simbólico
Your
de la
broken
vida
life.
quebrantada de Abraham,
your broken life,
tu vida quebrantada,
while Abraham was asleep.
mientras que Abraham dormía.
And Yahweh cut an unconditional covenant of grace
Y Yahweh-
before the law.
Cortó un convenio incondicional de gracia, de ternura, antes de que existiera la ley,
With Abraham.
con Abraham.
So, in the first covenant, there's nothing old about it. We don't like to use the word old. In the first covenant,
Así que en el primer convenio no nos gusta decir el Viejo Testamento, porque no hay nada viejo de él.
men and women found grace
Los hombres y
in Yahweh
mujeres
by believing,
encontraron la ternura en Yahuwah al creer,
not by works.
no a través de obras.
They entered the covenant by believing.
Entraron en el convenio al creer,
Same in the renewed covenant.
igual en el convenio renovado.
Men receive grace by believing.
Los hombres recibieron la ternura al creer.
The fact remains
El hecho permanece
that the first
que el
covenant
primer convenio
is full of grace
está repleto de ternura
and 400 laws,
y 400 leyes,
413, whatever it is.
413 las que
In the
quieren.
new covenant,
En el convenio nuevo,
men like Paul and Stephen and others,
hombres como Pablo, Esteban y otros,
Thomas and Bartholomew and
Tomás y
Philip
Bartolomeo, Felipe,
found grace.
encontraron ternura.
But in the renewed covenant,
Pero en el convenio renovado,
made with both houses of Israel,
hecho con ambas casas de Israel,
We have 1,050
Tenemos 1050 mandamientos,
laws.
leyes,
So you want to know the
instrucciones.
truth?
Así que quieres conocer la realidad.
All those who don't understand the balance
Todos aquellos que no comprenden el balance
between instructions and
entre
grace,
instrucciones y ternura
and say that we don't need the song of
y
Moses
dicen que no necesitamos la entonación de Moshe
because we have the song of the Lamb.
porque tenemos la entonación del Cordero.
Guess what?
¿Qué creen?
If that's what you believe,
Si eso es lo que ustedes creen,
you're in bad shape.
están en malos problemas.
Because if you're NTOC,
Porque si están NTOC,
a New Testament only Christian,
si son un cristiano solo de Nuevo Testamento,
I'll say that again in case you weren't offended the first time.
lo diré de nuevo en caso de que no hayan sido ofendidos la primera vez.
If you're an NTOC,
Si eres un cristiano que solo ve al Nuevo Testamento,
a New Testament only Christian,
un cristiano que solo ve al Nuevo Testamento,
you have a big problem.
tienes graves problemas.
Because you have 1,050 commandments.
Porque tienes 1050 mandamientos.
1,050.
1,050.
You're going to need grace
Vas a necesitar ternura
as a New Testament only Christian.
como un cristiano del Nuevo
Why?
Testamento. ¿Por qué?
Because there are more laws for you to break
Porque hay más instrucciones o leyes que quebrantar
than there are for the Jews
de lo que hay para los judíos
who don't believe
que no creen
in the New Testament.
en el Nuevo Testamento.
I'll say that again.
Lo diré de nuevo.
You have twice as many laws to break
Tienes más instrucciones que quebrantar
through our sin nature
a través de nuestra esencia pecaminosa
than the Jews,
que los judíos,
the rabbinical Jews,
los judíos rabinicales,
who don't believe
que no creen
in the New Testament.
en el Nuevo Testamento.
So let me ask you a question, friend.
Así que déjame hacerte una pregunta, amigo.
Who needs grace?
¿Quién necesita gracia?
Both those who believe in the first covenant
Ambos los que creen en el nuevo convenio
and haven't accepted the renewed
y
covenant.
no han aceptado el convenio
Who
renovado.
else needs grace?
¿Quién necesita ternura?
NTOC.
NTOC.
That's not the disease that makes you run to the bathroom at 4 a.m. What's that? That's PODC or PDOC or one of those things. This is NTOC.
Esta es la NTOC.
You've seen those commercials? What is that called, Rifki? PODC? You know, when people run to the bathroom every 30 seconds. Okay, but you've seen those commercials.
FDC.
NTOC.
FBD.
No, that's the Federal Deposit Insurance
FBD.
Corporation.
Frequent bathroom disorder.
Stop guessing, please. Stop guessing. This is not a guessing session. This is a teaching session.
Okay.
Repent.
I repent.
When they said repent,
I don't know what you mean.
repent. I don't know what they meant. So, we all need grace, and
Todos necesitamos ternura.
the way this thing is designed is for the Jews to unable to keep the instructions perfectly,
Y la manera que esto está diseñado es para los Yahudim redimidos que no pueden guardar las instrucciones o mandamientos perfectamente.
for our Christian brothers and sisters
Para nuestros fraternos y fraternas cristianos,
to also
cristianas,
break the commandments
para igual ellos quebrantar los mandamientos
in the New Testament.
en el Nuevo Testamento.
So we both need grace.
Así que ambos necesitamos ternura.
Once we've received the finished work of the Messiah and we apply it to our sins,
Una
once
vez-
we believe and receive the finished work of the Messiah,
Una vez que creemos y recibimos
Blood
la
atonement.
obra finalizada de la expiación a través de la sangre del Cordero de Mashiach,
now we're at a crossroad.
ahí estamos ya en un punto de decisión.
If you love
Si
me,
me amas,
says the Messiah,
dice Mashiach,
you will keep my commandments.
guardarás mis mandamientos.
Which ones?
¿Cuáles?
Take your pick.
Escoge los que quieras.
Where do I start?
¿En dónde comienzo?
I don't know.
No sé.
I would start with number 1 and number 2,
Yo comenzaría con el 1 y el 2.
like Yeshua said.
Así como dijo Yeshua.
If you start anywhere else, you're a religious fanatic.
Si comienzas en algún otro lugar, eres un religioso fanático.
You're nothing but a religious fanatic
No
and you
eres
have a
más que un
religious
fanático
spirit. I bind every
religioso.
religious spirit right now listening to this broadcast. I cast those chains off of you in the name of Yeshua.
No eres más que un fanático religioso y En el nombre de Yeshua HaMashiach
that you may be
reprendemos
free.
todo espíritu de religiosidad fanática para que puedan ser desencadenados.
There's so many teachers and preachers.
Hay tantos maestros y predicadores.
How do I know who's teaching and preaching the truth?
¿Cómo sé quién está enseñando y predicando la realidad?
Number one, by their fruits you shall know them.
Primero, a través de sus frutos los conocerás.
Matthew chapter 7.
Mateo 7.
Number two,
Segundo,
where does your faith start?
¿dónde comienza tu fe, tu emuná?
Where does your faith
¿En
start?
dónde comienza tu fe, tu emuná?
What did you say was happening before? The audio or the video? What was coming first?
Audio is coming first before video, by a slight second.
But not too bad.
Not
We might have to
crazy.
speed up the video. Maybe I can speed up the video a little bit. But it's okay. Better than it was last week, right?
Oh yeah.
So where do we start?
Así que ¿dónde
And this is the
comenzamos?
key, because how you start is where you finish.
Y esta es la clave porque donde inicies es donde vas a acabar.
One religion might say start with wearing this and that.
Una persona religiosa comienza con usar esto y aquello.
Another group may say start with
Otro grupo quizás diga comienza
start with committing to celibacy.
con comprometerse al celibato.
Another group may say you start walking with the Messiah
Otro grupo dice comienza a caminar con Mashiach
by selling all your furniture
al vender todos tus muebles
and giving it to the poor.
y dárselo a los pobres.
Those are dangerous doctrines,
Esas son doctrinas peligrosas.
because Yeshua HaMashiach,
Porque Yahshua el Mashiach,
hello,
hola,
he told us
él nos dijo
how and where to start our walk.
cómo y dónde comenzar nuestro caminar.
Did he not?
¿Qué no lo hizo?
In Matthew
En Mateo
22,
22,
36 through 38,
36 a 38.
the Shema.
El Shema.
You shall love Yeshua your Savior
Amarás a Yahshua tu Redentor.
with all your heart,
Con todo tu corazón.
with all your soul,
Con todo tu ser.
with all your
Con
strength,
todas tus fuerzas.
and you shall love your neighbor as
Y
yourself.
apreciarás a tu prójimo como a ti mismo.
This is the summation
Este es el resumen
of all the other
de
commandments.
todos los otros mandamientos.
So where do we start?
Así que ¿dónde comenzamos?
Forget the rabbis, forget the priest, forget the pastor, forget the synagogue, forget the church. Where do you and I, who are sincere,
Olvídense de los pastores,
Where do we
los
start?
rabinos, la iglesia,
And how do we
los
walk?
pastores. ¿Dónde es donde comenzamos? Si es que somos realmente sinceros,
By faith.
¿cómo comenzamos a caminar? Es a través de fe,
and
emuná,
not by sight?
y no a través de tu vista,
Where our Messiah
en donde nuestro Mashiach
told us
nos dijo
to start.
comenzar.
If you can't love your neighbor
Si no puedes amar a tu
and you're
prójimo
always finding fault
y siempre estás
with
encontrando
everyone
fallas
around you,
con todos los que te rodean,
let me give you a little hint.
déjenme darles
You're
un
not
poquito
ready for what
de
Yeshua has
inicio.
for you. You're not ready for the assembly.
Tú no
You're not
estás-
ready for community. You're not ready.
No estás listo para la asamblea, no estás listo para lo que Yahshua tiene para ti, no estás listo.
We start
Comenzamos
and major
y nos enfocamos
on what he told
en
us
lo que Él nos indicó,
to major on.
enfocarnos.
Not learning, not collecting information, not being a scholar, not collecting data. People don't know how much, don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
No es en enfocarnos en colectar información, datos, conocimiento. A la gente no le importa cuánto sabes, cuánto conoces. A ellos les importa cuánto te importan las cosas.
They don't care how much you know.
No les importa cuánto
How much
sabes.
Hebrew or Aramaic you know.
No cuánto hebreo, cuánto arameo.
Until I know how much you care.
Hasta que yo sepa cuánto te importo.
Took me a while to find that out.
Eso me llevó un tiempo descubrirlo.
So the difference between halacha with Mashiach
Así que la diferencia entre halajá, el caminar con Mashiach,
and all the other religions,
y todas las otras religiones,
the Messiah
Mashiach
tells you where to start,
te dice dónde comenzar
growing and learning
a crecer, a aprender,
to be like him.
para ser como Él.
That is loving Him.
Ese es amarlo a
With all
Él
your heart, soul, mind, and strength.
con todo tu corazón, ser, mente y fuerzas,
And learning how to love your neighbor as yourself.
y aprender a amar a tu prójimo
Overcoming
como
your
a ti
own
mismo.
selfishness, jealousies, and pedesties of what belongs to another person.
Vencer,
And loving your neighbor even as much as you love your loathsome self.
vencer tu codicia, todas las cosas triviales en las que te enfocas,
Then-
comenzar a apreciar a tu prójimo como a ti mismo.
You,
Y luego-
you might
Quizás
be ready to be used by Yahuwah.
Quizás estés listo para ser usado por Yahuwah.
And then you might be ready
Y luego quizás estés listo
to do more commandments.
para hacer más mandamientos.
You follow me?
¿Entiendes?
And here's the problem with the two greatest
Y
commandments.
aquí viene el problema con los dos principales
Here's
mandamientos.
the problem.
Aquí viene el problema.
It's going to take you the rest of your life
Te vas a llevar el resto de tu vida
to become perfected
poder perfeccionarte
in love.
en aprecio, en amor.
¿Por qué?
Why?
Perfect love
Porque el amor
casts out fear.
perfecto
You know
echa
why some
fuera
of you
el
will never
temor.
amount, you'll never fulfill your destiny in Yeshua, you'll never fulfill the full glorious beauty of His plans for you, that He drew up for you. You know why?
Porque el amor perfecto
I'll
echa
tell you
fuera
why.
el temor. ¿Y sabes por qué no vas a llegar al diseño que Yahweh intentó para ti, a tu propósito entero, a los planes que Él tiene para ti? ¿Sabes por qué? Yo te digo por qué.
You're majoring on the minor
Porque te estás enfocando en lo trivial,
and data collection
en colección
Facts.
de información, hechos,
and not practicing with all your heart, soul, and mind the two greatest commandments.
y no practicar con todo tu ser, mente y fuerzas los
But
dos
that's not all.
principales mandamientos. Y eso no es todo.
Fear.
El temor.
Many of you so-called Bible believers,
Muchos de ustedes están llamados
Do not
creyentes
walk
en
in
la
faith.
Biblia. No caminan en fe,
you walk in fear.
caminan en temor.
And I met hundreds like that.
Y he conocido a cientos de ellos.
They're convinced that the Russians are outside their door.
Están convencidos que los rusos están afuera de su
Don't turn
entrada.
off the radio when I'm talking to you.
No apagues
You
el
sit
radio
right there.
cuando te estoy hablando. Siéntate ahí.
The Russians are outside their door.
Que los rusos están afuera de tu entrada.
The Muslims are waiting for them at the gas
Que los
station.
musulmanes están esperándolos afuera de
Homeland
la
Security.
estación de gasolina.
Has a drone.
El gobierno de seguridad estadounidense tiene un drone
Flying over your home.
espiándote por encima de tu casa.
Everybody online
Todo el mundo en línea
is tracking you,
está observando,
is trolling you.
te está espiando.
Right now, even as you're passing gas,
En este mundo, así como estás pasando gas,
they're watching you pass
te
gas
están observando pasar gas.
on Google Earth.
Allí en
Everybody
Google.
around the earth is now involved in your gas because you are walking by
Todo
fear.
alrededor del mundo
You are walking by fear
está involucrado en tu gas porque estás caminando a base de fe.
because you're convinced
Porque estás
that
convencido
there are two drones over your
que hay
house.
dos espías sobre tu casa.
One from Homeland Security
Uno de Homeland Security
and one from Amazon.com.
y otro de Amazon.com.
That's really in bed with the FBI,
Que en realidad está unido con el
who's
FBI.
actually conspiring with the Defense
Que
Department
en realidad está conspirando con el Departamento de Defensa
to flatten your tires.
para sacar el aire de tus llantas.
So you're paralyzed by fear.
Así que estás paralizado por temor.
So what is the medicine?
Así que ¿cuál es la medicina?
Perfect love
El ajaba perfecto
casts out fear.
echa fuera el temor. Amén.
Perfect love.
El ajaba, el amor perfecto.
So instead of focusing in on the minors,
Así que en lugar de enfocarte en lo menor, lo trivial,
in order to walk by faith
para caminar a través de fe, de
and
emuná,
not by sight,
y no a base de vista,
we have to make it our determination
tenemos que hacerlo nuestra decisión,
to get rid of fear.
deshacernos del temor.
Because fear, the problem with fear is it's crippling.
Porque el problema con el temor es que te paraliza,
It holds you back
te retiene
from the plans,
de los planes,
the blueprint
los planes
that the master has drawn up for you.
que el maestro ha diseñado para ti.
Yes? Every good and perfect gift
todo
comes from above,
toda dádiva o regalo bueno y perfecto, todo y perfecto viene de lo alto,
from the Father of lights,
del Abba de las
in
luminarias,
whom there is no variableness or shadows of turning.
en donde no hay variación ni sombra
Fear
de
will make you
variación.
turn. Fear
El
will make you
temor
leave.
te
Fear
hará
will shake you. Fear will
voltear,
will
te sacudirá,
cause you to live
te obligará a abandonar tu propósito,
running, turning,
vivir huyendo,
changing
cambiando, volteando,
as you chase shadows.
al ir tras sombras.
For you to stop turning
Para que tú dejes de estar volteando
and chasing,
y yendo
shadows.
tras sombras,
you have to replace that fear
tienes que reemplazar ese temor
with faith.
con fe.
And how does one have faith when they have a serious illness?
¿Y cuándo puede uno tener fe cuando tiene una enfermedad muy seria?
Your love has to be perfected.
Tu amor tiene que ser perfeccionado.
What is perfect love?
¿Qué es el ahaba, el amor perfecto?
Perfect love is,
El ahaba, el amor perfecto es,
without Yeshua,
sin Yahshua,
I can do nothing.
no puedo hacer
I
nada,
am nothing.
no soy nada,
I can accomplish nothing.
no puedo vencer
I have
nada,
no physical or spiritual life.
no tengo vida física ni espiritual.
Therefore, everything is in your
Por lo
hands.
tanto, todo está en tus manos.
And when you give me a
Y
gift
cuando me des un don,
and you
un
give me
regalo,
your
y
mind,
me des de tu mente,
I will not depart
no me apartaré
from that will,
de esa
from that
voluntad,
mind,
de esa mente,
from that
de ese
understanding,
entendimiento
and from full loyalty to
y
you.
de la lealtad completa
I
a
will
ti.
pull back my mind
Yo jalaré de nuevo mi mente
from people, places, and things
de gente, lugares y cosas
and put it back on
y
you.
la pondré de nuevo en
And
ti.
then the perfect love returns.
Y luego el ahaba, el amor perfecto regresa.
You know when I'm scared?
¿Saben cuándo tengo yo temor?
When I'm not thinking about Yeshua.
Cuando no estoy pensando en Yahshua.
Isn't that when you're frightened?
Que no es así cuando tú tienes temor.
So if you're frightened of the mafia and homeland security and the people in black coats who are waiting in the park,
Así que si tienes temor de el FBI, de Homeland Security, de los abrigos negros que
tell
están
your problem,
esperándote
friend.
allí en el parque, déjame decirte tu problema, amigo.
your mind is not on Yeshua.
Tu mente no está en Yahshua.
Because what does the word of Yahuwah declare?
Porque ¿qué declara la palabra de Yahuwah?
What does the word of Yahuwah
¿Qué
declare?
declara la palabra de Yahuwah?
Perfect peace
La tranquilidad perfecta
has him
lo tiene a él,
whose mind,
cuya mente,
listen,
tiene él cuya
whose mind
mente
is stayed upon him.
está sobre él.
I'll
sobre
say that
Yahshua.
again.
Lo diré de nuevo.
Perfect peace
Tranquilidad perfecta
has him whose mind
tiene esa persona cuya mente
is stayed upon him.
está enfocada en él.
See the trick?
¿Ven el truco?
And then comes
Y
faith
luego viene la fe
and love
y el ahaba, el
for the
amor
one who has calmed you down.
para que, de aquel quien te ha calmado.
There comes that love from the one who has calmed you down.
Ese aprecio, ese amor viene de aquel quien te ha calmado.
And as you stay on him,
Y al tú permanecer en
your mind,
él,
you refocus.
tú te reenfocas.
It's a constant refocus.
Es un reenfoque
Daily, hourly,
constante, cada yom, cada
weekly.
momento, cada semana.
As we refocus,
Al reenfocarnos,
as our minds
así como nuestras mentes
and our hearts
y nuestros corazones
are not focused on people trying to hurt me, people trying to destroy me, people following me, people puncturing my top, whatever your phobia is.
no se enfocan en que la gente me
We
está
all have
tratando de
phobias.
destruir, me quieren sacar el aire de mis llantas, cualquiera que sea tu temor.
Here's the answer.
Aquí viene la respuesta.
Get your mind and your heart
Pon tu mente y tu corazón
stayed on him,
en él,
fixated with him.
enfocados en él.
Isaiah 26:3.
Isaías 26:3.
Perfect peace
Perfecta shalom
have those
tienen aquellos
whose mind
cuya
is stayed
mente
upon thee.
está sobre ti.
Baruch Hashem
Baruch
Yahuwah.
Hashem Yahuwah.
I said Baruch Hashem
Baruch
Yahuwah.
Hashem Yahuwah.
There's something else in that scripture. You know, we haven't taken our break yet.
Hay algo más en esa escritura y no nos hemos tomado nuestro descanso.
We haven't taken our break yet.
No, we haven't.
Which means we haven't given our friends an opportunity to build their future.
Right? No le hemos dado a nuestros amigos la chance de edificar su futuro.
by sowing
No
into
nos
the
hemos
kingdom.
tomado nuestro descanso para que ellos puedan sembrar en el reino.
Go to Yeshayahu 26:3.
Vayan a Isaías 26:3. Isaías 26:3.
You will keep him in perfect shalom.
Isaías 26:3. Tú guardarás en completa shalom
Whose mind
a aquel cuyo pensamiento
is fixed on you.
en ti persevera.
So watch. When your mind is not on people, places, and things, but when your mind is fixed on him,
Entonces, imagínense, cuando tu mente no se enfoca en cosas, lugares, gente, sino que se está enfocando en Yeshua HaMashiach,
guess what
en
happens?
Yahweh,
Guess what happens?
¿qué crees lo que va a pasar
Guess what happens to your sick mind?
con tu mente enferma?
It gets fixed.
Se arregla.
Duh.
Duh.
Isn't that complicated?
That's easy.
That's deep, right?
Eso es profundo, ¿sí?
Let's read that again.
No, es súper simple.
You will keep him in perfect shalom,
Tú guardarás en completa shalom,
whose
tranquilidad,
mind is fixed on you,
aquel cuyo pensamiento en ti
because he
persevera,
trusts in you.
porque en ti ha confiado.
So, how does our mind get fixed?
Así que, ¿cómo se arregla nuestra mente?
Here it is.
Aquí está.
By fixing on him.
Al enfocarnos en verse 4 es importante.
If we fix it on him,
Si nos enfocamos en Él,
he'll fix our troubled mind,
Él arreglará nuestra mente que está molesta
and he'll fix our troubled heart.
y nuestro corazón molesto.
And then because he trusts in you.
Porque Él confía en ti.
So all those who trust in Yahuwah
Entonces todos aquellos que confían en
are
Yahuwah
candidates
son candidatos
to have perfect peace,
para tener shalom, tranquilidad perfecta,
not immediately,
no inmediatamente,
but as our minds are fixed
pero así como se van arreglando nuestras mentes,
on him.
enfocándose en
He
Él.
fixes, as a reward, he fixes our
Y
mind.
como galardón, como recompensa, Él arregla nuestras mentes.
And that love for the one who is fixing our emotions, listen,
Y ese
that
amor-
love for the one, that love for the one who is now repairing our damaged emotions
Ese amor por aquel que está reparando nuestras emociones dañadas.
take it.
Aleluya.
That love for him
Ese amor por Él
is so strong and so
es
stable
tan fuerte, tan estable,
that it casts out fear.
que echa fuera el temor.
See, we fix our minds on him,
Ven, enfocamos nuestras mentes en
he
Él.
fixes our mind
Él arregla nuestras mentes
so that we are ready to receive
para que podamos recibir
perfect love.
el Ahabá perfecto.
When that perfect love comes from a sound mind,
Cuando ese Ahabá, ese amor perfecto venga de una mente sana,
what happens to fear?
¿qué pasa con el temor?
It flees.
Huye.
2 Timothy 1:12.
Segunda Timoteo 1:12.
Yahuwah
Yahová
has not
no
given us
nos ha dado
the spirit of fear,
espíritu de temor,
but power,
pero de poder,
love,
de amor, Ahabá,
and a sound
y
mind.
una mente
See
sana.
how it's all
Ven
connected?
cómo se conecta.
When fear goes,
Cuando huye el
Power
temor,
comes.
entra el poder,
perfect love
entra el
comes,
amor, el Ahabá perfecto,
and your emotions are repaired.
y tus emociones son reparadas. Amén.
When fear goes.
Cuando se va el
The
temor.
only way to have your heart and mind and your damaged emotions and rejections of the past healed
La única manera de conseguir que tu mente, tu corazón, los daños del el rechazo y de toda herida emocional, para que todo eso sea sanado,
is for fear to go.
es para que se vaya el temor.
And the only way fear can go
Y la única manera que el temor se puede ir
is if you train your mind
es que si entrenas tu mente
to be fixated
a enfocarse
with his goodness,
con su toba, con su
with his
excelencia,
care for you.
con su cuidado por ti.
Trust in that.
Confía en ello.
Yeshayahu, Isaiah 26:4.
Isaías 26:4.
Trust in that.
Confía en ello.
Trust in that Yahuwah.
Confía en Yahuwah
Leolam Vaed.
para siempre,
Forevermore.
perpetuamente.
For in Yahuwah
Porque en Yahuwah
is the everlasting strength
está la fortaleza de los siglos
and faith
y la fe
that he gives those
que Él le da a aquellos
who are steady and
que
steadfast.
son estables y firmes.
And then fear goes.
Y luego huye el temor.
Fear cannot go unless you are steadfast and steady.
El temor no se puede ir sin que tú te establezcas y te afirmes.
The more shakeable we are, the more insecure we are, the more we're not firmly fixed on him.
Por más sacudible que eres,
And
vas
we're
a
looking
tener
around what
más.
other people say, what other people think.
Porque no te estás enfocando en él, estás viendo a ver qué dicen los demás, qué piensan los demás.
The everlasting strength
La fortaleza perpetua de los siglos
escapes us.
se nos
See,
escapa.
you see how it works?
¿Ven cómo
The
funciona?
greatest commandment is you shall love me with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength.
El mayor mandamiento es amarme de todo tu corazón, de todo tu ser, de toda tu mente, toda tu mente y todas tus fuerzas.
But the everlasting strength
Pero la fuerza permanente de los siglos,
only comes from him.
solo viene de Yahuwah.
And we only get it when we're stable.
Y solo la recibimos cuando nos estabilizamos.
And we take all the noise, pollution, the clutter, and all these things out of our
Y
lives.
quitamos toda esta
I love watching TV, but I
contaminación de ruido.
know when I'm watching TV, I know for a fact
Todas
my
estas-
mind cannot be stayed on him.
Distracciones. Yo me gusta ver la televisión, las noticias, pero yo sé que de hecho cuando me enfoco en eso no me puedo enfocar y estabilizar en Yahuwah.
So here is part of the issue.
Así que aquí viene parte del problema.
We are to love him with all our mind, soul, and strength.
Tenemos que amarlo de todo nuestro corazón, ser, mente y fuerza.
But in order to get that kind of mind, that kind of soul, and that kind of everlasting
Pero
strength,
para poder conseguir ese tipo de mente, ese tipo de ser, mente y fuerzas,
we have to keep our minds
tenemos que mantener nuestras mentes
fixated
enfocadas
on him.
en Él.
And that's hard.
Y eso es difícil,
That's very hard.
es muy difícil.
There's noise pollution, there's sound pollution, there's
contaminación
stress pollution,
de ruido,
there's grandchildren pollution, there
de
is a honey-do
estrés,
list, things to
de
do,
nietos,
places to go.
de cosas que hacer, de lugares a donde ir, tanto distrayéndote.
You see?
¿Ven?
So fear,
Así que el temor,
unless we are willing
solo que estemos dispuestos
to begin to deal
a comenzar a tratar
with fear,
con el temor,
we are going to go to glory
vamos a ir a la estima, la tiferet,
in a far less perfect condition with far less rewards
En
and
una
far less of an abundant, fruitful life than the Father has ordained for
menos
us.
perfecta, en una situación, en una condición menos fructífera de lo que Él ha ordenado y planificado para nosotros.
A life that does not achieve its potential
Una vida que no alcanza su potencial
is a very sad thing.
es una cosa muy triste.
And I believe that Yahweh has a beautiful divine blueprint of great honor and potential
Y yo creo que Yahuwah tiene unos planos muy grandes y preciosos de gran
for
potencial
each one of us.
para cada uno de
But
nosotros.
many will go to glory,
Pero muchos se irán a la estima,
never having entered
nunca habiendo entrado
into that rest.
en ese descanso.
And why should that surprise
¿Y por
us?
qué nos va a sorprender eso?
Our forefathers were the same way.
Nuestros antepasados eran iguales.
Yes, they all died outside the
Todos
promise.
murieron fuera de la promesa.
This is nothing new.
Esto no es nada nuevo.
Why did our fathers die outside the promise
¿Por qué
in the
murieron
wilderness?
nuestros antepasados fuera de la promesa en el desierto?
Fear.
Temor. Yes.
Instead of seeing the strength of Yahuwah by
En lu-
having their mind fixed,
En lugar de ver la fuerza de
unshakable.
Yahuwah, al tener su mente enfocada, insacudible,
their weak minds,
sus mentes
das
débiles,
Fliegen,
las moscas,
their weak minds
sus mentes débiles,
began to see
comenzaban a ver
the Nephilim,
a los nafalim,
the
a
giants,
los gigantes,
and fear came.
y entró el temor.
And as soon as fear
Y
came,
tan pronto como entró el temor,
they were as good as dead.
estaban muertos.
Only two had a different spirit.
Solo dos tuvieron una ruach
Only two had a
diferente,
different ruach.
un tipo de ruach, espíritu diferente.
Yahoshua
Yahushua
and Caleb.
y Caleb,
Joshua
Josué,
from the tribe of Ephraim,
de la tribu de Efraín,
and Caleb
y Caleb,
from the tribe of
de
Judah.
la tribu de Yahudá.
Numbers
Números
chapter 13.
13.
So even those two faithful spies
Aún esos dos espías leales.
Yahuwah was prophesying
Yahuwah estaba profetizando a
that out
través
of all
de
Israel,
que de todo
there
Israel
would only be a remnant
solo habría un
who would
remanente
walk by
que
faith
caminaría a través de fe
and not by
y
sight.
no vista.
One from Ephraim,
Uno de
who
Efraín,
became the 10
que
tribes,
se convirtió en las 10 tribus,
or the name
con su nombre,
for
su
the collection
título,
of 10 tribes.
para el
And
grupo
Judah,
el colectivo, y Yahudá,
Caleb from Judah,
Caleb de Yahudá,
which became a collective term
que se hizo una frase colectiva
for the 3 tribes
para las 3 tribus del sur.
of the south. We had that last night.
Eso ayer lo estuvimos escudriñando.
A sister asked us
Una ajot nos pidió,
that she thought that the southern
nos
kingdom
preguntó
was only 2 tribes.
que pensaba ella que el reino del sur solo se componía de 2 tribus.
And she's correct.
Y es cierto,
But when we add Levi,
pero cuando añadimos a Leví,
because the center of worship
porque el centro de la adoración
was in the land of Judah,
estaba en la Eretz, la tierra de
so the
Yahudá.
Levites had to settle there
Así que los levitas se instalaron ahí
to be at the altar,
para estar allí en el
to
altar,
minister at the altar.
para ministrar en el altar.
So the house of Judah became 3 tribes.
Así que la casa de Judá se compuso de 3
What
tribus.
we're going to do now is we're going to take a brief break.
Vamos a tomarnos un breve descanso.
I'm going to ask our sister to put up on the screen a link
Voy a pedir que la Ajot ponga una conexión en la pantalla para
where those who are hearing from the Ruach and those who are willing to build his government, and through my words and my teachings and your support, together we can prepare a people like in the days of John the Baptist that are ready for the coming of the Messiah.
para que a través de su apoyo junto con nosotros podamos los dos, ustedes y nosotros, edificar y preparar a un pueblo digno de Mashiach.
We were at the Forgiven. I'll show you what a blessing it is to give.
Les voy a enseñar qué braca es dar.
We were at the beautiful Forgiven Church last night,
Estábamos en la preciosa congregación Perdonado
and I'm going to just give you a little example.
y les voy a dar un pequeño ejemplo.
We sowed
Nosotros sembramos
a piece of equipment.
una pieza
We were going to
un
put it on
equipo
Craigslist,
que íbamos a vender a través del internet.
and the Ruach
Y
HaKadosh
la Ruach HaKadosh
told me not to.
me dijo que no.
And I called Brother Jesse,
Y le llamé a nuestro fraterno Yishai.
and I said, I want you to bring the CD
Y le
duplicator.
dije, tráigame el duplicador de CDs.
I'm going to sow it
Lo voy a sembrar
to this congregation
a esta congregación,
so that
en esta
they
congregación,
can make CDs,
para que ellos puedan, para que puedan hacer grabaciones de CDs,
expecting nothing in return.
no esperando nada a cambio.
The natural thing to do would be to just sell it.
La cosa normal sería simplemente venderlo.
But when you build Yahweh's kingdom, you do much better than selling stuff.
Cuando uno edifica el reino de Yahuwah, hace mucho mejor que
So,
vender cosas.
We went there to give because it's more blessed to give than receive.
Así que llegamos ahí para dar porque es mucho más, hay mucha más braca en dar que en recibir.
Make a long story short,
Y para cortar la historia,
we got favored
fuimos favorecidos
with a beautiful
con
beautiful love offering,
una ofrenda de ajaba preciosa,
way beyond the natural means of a small group.
mucho más allá de las capacidades de un grupo pequeño.
And whatever we sowed
Y lo que hubiéramos sembrado
within a month,
dentro de un mes, la
we reaped within a month.
lo cosechamos.
We reaped
Lo cosechamos.
and had a beautiful
Even
offering.
without wanting to. Sin
Without
querer-
wanting to,
Sin
yeah.
querer hacerlo.
And we want to go back, Yah willing, and minister without,
Y queremos regresar de nuevo y ministrar
because we know Yah provides.
porque sabemos que Yahuwah provee.
But we were favored.
fuimos
Blessed is too
favorecidos.
light of a word.
La
We were
palabra
favored
benditos o Baruch es una palabra muy ligera
with
para lo que
a
recibimos.
beautiful tithe and offering
Con una ofrenda y diezmo precioso
that's going to help us pay our bills.
que nos va a ayudar a pagar nuestros gastos.
And we give Yah all the
Y le
glory.
damos a Yahuwah toda la
And that's just a small example.
Y ese es solo un pequeño
If you
ejemplo.
just step out in faith
Que uno si simplemente pisa en
and,
fe,
and,
camina en
and
fe
send us
Y si nos envían,
Stop with the excuses.
dejen de hacer excusas.
I asked you to come on board
Les pedí que se
for
conectaran,
$50 a month, $100
que
a
se
month.
unieran.
You're fighting in your own mind.
Con
You're looking for the
50,
trick. Where's the trick?
$100 al
There's no
mes.
trick.
Están luchando en su mente.
No one wants your
pensando,
money.
¿Dónde está el truco? No hay truco, nadie quiere su dinero.
There's a work that needs to be supported.
Hay una obra que necesita ser apoyada.
And I am inviting
Y
everybody
les estoy invitando a todos
to do the
que
right
hagan lo
thing.
correcto.
Sow
Sembrar
and then sit back
y luego sentarse
and watch the
y
harvest.
ver la cosecha.
We'll be back with much, much more
Regresamos con mucho más.
in a few
En
minutes.
unos minutos.
Please go to that page on
Por
BluePay
favor, vayan a esa página en Blue
and set apart your gift.
y aparten su donación.
And we'll thank Yahuwah
Y
for it.
damos toda Rabá y Yahuwah por ello.
Baruch Hashem,
Exaltado sea Yahuwah.
Yahweh. The bandwidth. Use a little bit more bandwidth. Is that the last one? Is there another one? Alrighty, we're back for part 2 of our midweek Unity service. Don't forget, we'll be with you on the biblical Shabbat, which happens to fall on a Roman Wednesday. All the days of the Roman week are based in paganism. So we'll be back on the air with you for a live Shabbat service with all of our assembly here. This coming Yom Shabbat, that will be Roman Talmudic Wednesday at 12 p.m.
Ya regresamos para la segunda parte de nuestro servicio de unidad de hoy y les queremos recordar que estaremos transmitiendo de nuevo el miércoles romano para la celebración del Shabbat, comenzando a las 12 de la tarde, tiempo de la Florida.
Now, it's been so many weeks since we were talking about as a father, as a son.
Y han pasado unas cuantas semanas desde que hablamos la última vez acerca de la enseñanza, así como un Abba hacia su hijo.
That I basically forgot where we were, what verse we stopped at.
Básicamente se me olvidó dónde nos quedamos.
And I'm going to roughly pick it up where I think we left off.
Voy a ver si puedo acordarme de dónde nos quedamos.
So please turn with me to Ivrim.
Así que por favor vayan conmigo a Hebreos. Actually, we left off at Kefa 5:1-2.
No, but we were doing Ivrim.
We did Ibrim 12:6.
12:6, that's what I thought, right around.
Matthew 6:33, Galatians 6:7, Yohanan 1:12.
Okay, but I was interested in Hebrews 12.
Okay, vamos a Hebreos capítulo 12.
Okay. And that really goes back to 7 and 8. I'll touch on 7 and really begin to teach on Hebrews, Ivrim 12:8. Turn with me,
Vamos
please,
a Hebreos 12:8.
to Ivrim, Hebrews 12:8.
Hebreos 12:8.
And again, we're coming to you in a live Unity service
Estamos viniendo a ustedes a un servicio en vivo
in the middle of the Torah week,
a la mitad de la semana Torah,
the third day
de Torah.
of the Torah week,
en el tercer yom de la semana de Torah,
from the sanctuary
desde el lugar apartado
at Goshen B'Tzafon,
en Goshen Ba-Tzafon,
which means the land of Goshen
que quiere decir la tierra Eretz de Goshen
in the north,
en el norte,
and in our case, North Florida.
en nuestro caso el norte de la Florida.
And we praise Yah that our community is growing,
Y exaltamos a Yahuwah que nuestra comunidad está creciendo.
and for those 2 wonderful meetings we had right here in our community in McLenny.
Y exaltamos a Yahuwah por esas 2 reuniones maravillosas que tuvimos aquí en McLenny
With our wonderful sister,
con nuestra hot maravillosa,
Dr. Velma Childers,
la doctora Velma Childers,
opened up her sanctuary,
que abrió su lugar de adoración, su santuario,
and many of our wonderful people.
y muchos de nuestra gente maravillosa.
We had a chance to break bread,
Tuvimos chance de quebrantar lejem,
eat tons of cake, and
comer junto con ellos pastel y muchas otras cosas.
I know some of our people want to go there for Monday prayer.
Y sé que mucha de nuestra gente quiere ir ahí para la oración los lunes.
We all know we need prayer.
Todos sabemos que necesitamos oración.
And so thank you, Yahweh, for using us
Así que toda Rabá Yahuwah por usarnos
in a mighty way.
en una manera poderosa.
I had a very nice group last night.
Y fue una braca muy grande.
And so praise Yah.
Ayer por la tarde y exaltado sea Yahuwah.
For those of you who are just joining us,
Por aquellos de ustedes que apenas se están uniendo con nosotros,
we welcome you.
les damos la Baruch Haba, bienvenida.
Please share our broadcast and Your Arms of Love to Israel
Por favor, compartan.
International Ministries with
No.
your friends and family. We're here for them. The same word that is benefiting you is going to benefit them.
Por favor, compartan nuestra transmisión con sus seres queridos, amigos, conocidos. Esta misma palabra que les está ayudando y dando braca, bendición a ustedes, les va a dar braca y bendición a sus amigos y seres queridos.
If you endure discipline,
Verse.
7,
Hebreos 12:7.
Yahuwah deals with you as with sons.
Si soportas la
Or
disciplina,
daughters.
Elohim les trata como a hijos o hijas.
For what son or daughter does a physical Abba
Porque qué hijo o hija es aquel o aquella que en el Abba
not discipline?
no disciplina, no corrige.
So the fact that we have parents that discipline us
Así que el mismo hecho que tenemos papás, mamás que nos corrigen
is proof
es prueba
that they love us
que nos aman
and that we have parents.
y que tenemos papás.
Without discipline,
Sin esa corrección, esa disciplina,
there's no evidence
no hay evidencia
that they care for us
que les importamos
and that we even have parents.
o que tenemos papás.
So
Amen.
every child,
Así que todo hijo,
if he's a child,
si es que es hijo,
has received
ha recibido
discipline.
disciplina, corrección.
And since we are the 153 fish or the B'nai Elohim,
Y ya que somos los 153 peces o Benai, los hijos de Elohim, del Todopoderoso,
when Father Abba Yahuwah
cuando nuestro Abba, Papá Yahuwah,
relates to us,
se relaciona hacia nosotros o con nosotros,
it is not to crush us,
no es para aplastarnos,
it is not to destroy us,
no es para destruirnos,
it is not to shake our confidence,
no es para sacudir nuestra confianza, nuestra estima,
it is to correct
es
us
para corregirnos
through discipline.
a través de la disciplina.
And we found out a few weeks ago last time we shared
Y descubrimos hace unas cuantas semanas, la última vez que compartimos,
that the discipline of the Father
que la disciplina del Abba, del Padre,
does not take place
no toma lugar
in a toilet room 100 miles away from the family.
en un excusado a 100 millas de la familia.
True discipline by our earthly parents
La real disciplina por nuestros papás
is not done
terrenales
in secret as some kind of an abusive mechanism,
no se hace en secreto como algún tipo de mecanismo abusivo,
at least if it's done right.
por lo menos si se hace correctamente,
But it is done within the family structure
pero se hace dentro de la estructura familiar,
with healthy, functional
con
parents,
papás funcionales sanos,
healthy, functional brothers and
con
sisters.
fraternos y fraternas sanos,
That
funcionales.
child in a healthy, functional family
Ese niño en una familia funcional, sana,
is pulled aside,
se jala al lado,
not in secret to be abused as some of us have been abused in our past.
no en secreto para ser abusado, como algunos de nosotros hemos sido abusados en el pasado,
But within the transparency
pero dentro de la transparencia
of a family.
de una familia.
Please check on the video and audio sync. I hope and pray in Yeshua's name we're fine. So you will find that parents who are abusive will isolate their dirty deeds done cheap in the dark under the cloak of privacy and darkness. That's why we have to bring everything to the light as believers within a family structure, because godly discipline by a father or a mother in the home is not a secret, dirty thing. It's something that's healthy, and it needs to be transparent so that it is manifest and seen by other people in the family. If a parent has to discipline their children away from the family, it won't work. It more than likely is secretive, and more than likely it is abusive. Okay? And as it is in the physical, it is also the same in the spirit. The Father deals with us as sons and daughters, okay? And that's the way He relates to us, as sons and daughters who are being disciplined. But He does it, as we learned a few weeks ago, within the congregation or the Kehillah or the commonwealth of the assembly of Israel. He doesn't punish His children in secret. He corrects us so that our discipline and our correction is beneficial and visible to the rest of the body of Yeshua. So, most of the time, when the Father disciplines us, it's within a family structure, within community, There's nothing secretive. It's a healthy function of a healthy family, of a healthy body of believers. And the same way our fathers chasten us, the Father chastens us, but he doesn't isolate us because he doesn't do things in any from a perverted or from a depraved perspective, but so that we would learn the error of our ways. And again, it's very important to understand that Yahuwah does not punish his children, because I encounter most believers, and you'll hear them say things like this, and most of you, I've heard you talking, and you'll say things like this. Okay? You'll say this: "Oh, God is punishing me," or maybe he's punishing me, or maybe I'm being punished. See, that tells me right there that you do not understand the way the Father works. All the punishment, all the wrath, all the anger for our sin fell upon his Son as a vicarious atonement. So if all the punishment of Yahweh fell on Yeshua, how much punishment is left for you and I as believers who trust in him, whose minds are stayed and fixed upon him? The answer is 0. Because if he punishes us, then what really happened to Yeshua? I thought he was punished, and he was beaten, and he was carried away, taken away from the land of the living for our transgressions. So there is no more anger at sin, and there's no more punishment. He's not mad about us. He's not mad at us. He's mad about who we now are, which is the righteousness of Yahweh. So he doesn't punish his children, but he sure does correct his children. If he corrects us, then he is our Father. If he punishes us, then he is not our Father. You see, we're born again. We've been born again into the Yahweh family. So we need to take that out of our heart, out of our mind, and out of our vocabulary. He is not punishing us. There is no punishment reserved or left for us. So we do not have to fear him. His perfect love has cast out fear. But he does correct us because we are his children. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. Verse number 7. If we endure discipline, Yahuwah is dealing with us as with sons. For what son does the Abba not discipline? In a healthy family, the father does not punish his children. He wants to teach them life's lessons through discipline. And so it is in the family of Yahuwah. Verse 8. And this is very important, especially in light of the fact that we know now that we are returning Israelites from either the house of Judah or from the nations. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. If you are without discipline, by which we've all been designated to be trained, then you are not really Israelites, but you are Gerim, strangers, Gentiles, and not sons. So the fact that he does correct us, so we don't keep making the same mistakes, is to train us, and is also proof that, number one, we are his children, and number two, that we are Israel.
It's better for him.
What? Tell me. You need to tell me.
It seems like there's still a little bit of a distance, and the audio is still ahead of the video.
A little bit, not much. So make it a little faster. You know how to do it now. Just like 20 or 30.
Don't mess it up.
No, you won't. Just go to the star and go to the star, and then just make it a little fast. Not much, maybe 20 megabytes on each one, each broadcast. I showed you how to do it. Okay, just a little bit, not much. But don't turn off the broadcast. You don't want to turn it off. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that. So the fact that the Father disciplines us means, number one, he loves us. Number two, we're in training. We're being trained directly by Him. He must love us because we're being trained directly by Him as He shows us our errors and then strengthens us not to repeat those errors. He give it a few minutes. He trains us not to keep repeating those same errors. Okay?
Juliet está hablando de cómo Yahuwah nos ama tanto que Él no está enojado con nosotros. Él ya todo su enojo lo descargó sobre su Cordero, Yahshua HaMashiach, su Hijo. En Él ya puso todo el enojo que Él había acumulado a causa de nuestras fallas, nuestras traiciones, nuestras perversiones, nuestros pecados. Entonces hoy Él solo se enfoca en corregirnos a nuestro caminar y nuestros errores, pero no a castigarnos, no a enojarse y venir en contra de nosotros para destruirnos.
So it shows, number one, that we're in training.
Así que en primer lugar esto enseña que estamos en entrenamiento.
But just as
Pero
importantly,
importante, igual de importante,
according to verse 8
de acuerdo al verso 8
of Ivrim,
de
Hebrews,
Hebreos
chapter 12,
12:8,
it shows us
nos enseña
that He no longer deals with us
que ella no trata con nosotros
as strangers.
como extranjeros.
Strangers in Torah mean those who are not part of the people of Israel.
Extranjeros en Torah quiere decir personas que no son parte del pueblo de Israel.
When the Torah speaks of strangers or foreigners, it's a term that is used of those who have no part in citizenship in the Commonwealth of Israel. The very fact that the Holy Spirit loves us and corrects us and teaches us is proof that we are not foreigners, that we are not Gentiles, that we are not outside citizenship, that we are citizens and equal heirs in the Commonwealth of Israel, in the rebuilt tabernacle of David. The fact that He doesn't let us get away with things, and He does, but just as importantly, He doesn't punish us. And when we keep making the same errors, He'll leave us back in third grade. He'll leave us back and you still won't enter your destiny. But He doesn't punish you so as to take away your New Jerusalem home. He doesn't kick you out of the house. Okay? He rebukes you, He corrects you, and He disciplines you, which is proof that you're not a stranger. Because He doesn't correct and rebuke and discipline strangers. What does He do to strangers? He will punish them for their own sins. He will punish them for their own iniquities. He will punish them for their own rebellion. But since we have trusted in the substitutionary vicarious death of Yeshua and His resurrection, we are forgiven by His blood, but we are given life by His resurrection, because I live, you shall live also. Romans chapter 5 verse 9, we're saved by His life. Okay? We're justified by His death, but we are saved, technically we are saved by His life, not by His death. Romans chapter 5 says we are justified by His death, but we are saved by His life. And so praise Yah, when He deals with us, it's through the filter of Golgotha. And that correction is for our maturity, for our stability, for our benefit, so that we may enter as heirs everything He has promised for us. You see? I know the plans that I have for you, says Yahuwah. Yirmiyahu, Jeremiah 33:3. To give you hope and a future, if you're willing to receive discipline. And as we learned a few weeks ago, correction and discipline are not done outside the family. That's called isolation. And when you're isolated from the family of Yahuwah, there's a very good possibility you're going to be severely corrected, and it'll feel just like punishment. There won't be any difference. So healthy correction is done for the children of the kingdom, who are no longer strangers and foreigners, but are sons and daughters within the family structure of the fivefold ministry: apostles, prophets, teachers, evangelists, and so forth.
Can I take it higher? Will it mess it up?
What's that?
If I do it higher, does it mess it up?
Yeah, I wouldn't play with it too much. You can, but it's a little bit better.
I'll
But
just leave it.
that's about the same.
Yeah.
But it's almost in sync.
Almost.
Okay, you can make it a little higher, but but don't go too crazy. So what I want to emphasize, if we go back 2 or 3 weeks, this discipline a lot of the times the father is so loving and caring that he takes a hands-off approach. And through the spirit that is in the body of Yeshua, using apostles and prophets and pastors and teachers and evangelists, he speaks not only life, but he speaks correction. Okay? And so he's saying, you had physical fathers who corrected you. Now you also have spiritual overseers and you have spiritual fathers. And do not despise, listen, notice, do not despise my correction through your fathers. You see? Because the Father does not punish us. The Son of Yah does not punish us. But he leaves, listen, he leaves his Holy Spirit. And he empowers men and women in the fivefold ministry to oversee the affairs of the body. And occasionally it is necessary for that correction to come through our leaders and through our elders, and not only as if, but because it is the correction of the Father. That is why isolation and withdrawal from the body and withdrawal from the assembly and withdrawal is so detrimental, because the Holy Spirit is gently correcting his sons and daughters who are no longer strangers, but they are now Israel, Galatians 6:16, Ephesians chapter 2. They are Israel, and Israelites get corrected. Because the only ones that now get punished are the heathen. But everyone who is a born-again believer is an Israelite and is part of the tabernacle of David that is being repaired, and we escape punishment. But what we don't want to run from and what we don't want to escape is the gentle correction of the Ruach HaKadosh that he leaves behind so that he could minister and change hearts and minds and understandings and perspectives through the fivefold ministry of Ephesians chapter 4. So we're no longer strangers, we're no longer heathens, we're no longer in the nations, we're no longer part of the unredeemed ethnos or goyim. We are the redeemed remnant of both houses of Israel. So we're being trained by this discipline, so we shouldn't run from it, we should run to it. If we had a really right attitude and we really understood one of the reasons that the Holy Spirit has been left here is to convict us of sin, righteousness, and judgment. What does it mean that Yeshua left the Ruach HaKadosh here to convict us of sin, righteousness, and judgment? To correct us. And that Ruach resides in the body. So when we remove ourselves and divorce ourselves from the body, we are settling for being a stranger or a foreigner, and to the stranger and to the foreigner comes punishment. So we need to move, we need to relocate, we need to join a community of believers that cares about each other, that lives with each other, that is in close proximity to each other, that runs to correction, does not despise the chastening of Yahuwah. See? The word says earlier, despise not the chastening of Yahuwah. See? Back in verse 5, Hebrews, Ivrim, chapter 12, verse 5. My son, despise not. Why would the word of Yahuwah command us? Here's one of those commands, one of those 1,050 commands that I talked about earlier. Why would the word of Yahuwah say, despise not his correction? Because we do despise it, don't we? Especially when it comes from someone with a beard. Or someone who's an evangelist coming in and correcting our behaviors. We don't want that. We only want Yeshua to correct us. But here's the problem. Yeshua has left that discipline to his body. The word of Yahuwah says, judge yourselves, lest you not be judged. The word says, examine yourself to see whether you be in the emunah, in the faith. So we are not to despise it. We are not to resent it. Those shepherds have been put into your life so that you don't stay retarded and that you don't keep getting left back, and this is, you don't die without inheriting your destiny and your full potential. He put you on this earth so you and I would inherit our full potential. You have to slow it down now? It's too fast.
Okay, on Facebook, it's like perfect, but now it's buffering.
Where?
Facebook.
Okay, so slow it down then. Go back to the levels you were before, like 650, 700, wherever you were before. And worst comes to worst, what we have to do sometimes is we have to shut down Facebook and then restart it. Worst comes to worst. Okay, that devil's a liar. He doesn't want the word broadcast. That devil, he always messes. That's why he's called in Ephesians the prince of the power of the air. See, wireless internet and so forth. He's always messing with the air and the broadcasting of the word of Yahuwah. Alrighty, so let's go to verse 9. So we understand the fact that we're in the body, we're in community, and we are being disciplined for our training, mostly by the overseers of the body. But the most important fact is that we should not despise it, because we realize the very fact that Yeshua loves us to send people and leaders into our lives to redirect us and to correct us is proof that we are no longer strangers, that we are no longer gerim. Okay? That is proof. So instead of despising that, we should be saying, okay, Yahuwah, thank you, that we are not strangers and you're dealing with us as B'nai Elohim. Verse 9. Furthermore, we have had ahavot, fathers, after our flesh, who have corrected us, and we gave them respect. Shall we not much more rather be subject to the Abba, the Father of Ruachim, of spirits, and live? So our Heavenly Father is the Father of spirits, of all spirits. Okay? If we respected our earthly parents, and our earthly parents were not the fathers of life, but they were mortal, they were temporal, they were made in corruption, and we still listened to them when they disciplined us, how much more is the discipline of our heavenly Abba going to bring us spiritual life and spiritual benefits? Because he's not the father of flesh, rather he's the father of Ruachim. He's the father of spirits. So Yeshua said, the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So his words of correction contain the DNA of both spirit and life. Now get that down now. Yeshua said, the words that I speak unto you, they are ruach and they are emet. They are spirit and they are life. Okay? And so when we are submitted to correction through the word of Yahuwah,
cuando nos sometemos a la corrección a través de la palabra de Yahuwah,
we are receiving the drink and the DNA benefit that's contained in those words.
Estamos recibiendo la bebida y la braca de Ruach que está, la bendición del Ruach que está en esas palabras.
Of spirit and life.
De espíritu, Ruach y vida.
Let me say that again.
Lo diré de nuevo.
Adon Yeshua said this.
El Adón Yahushua dijo así:
The word of Yah that I speak to you
la palabra de Yahuwah que te hablo
is Ruach
es Ruach
Vechaim,
y Jaim,
is spirit and life.
espíritu y vida.
And so when his word through his ordained family,
Entonces cuando su palabra
And the heads of
a
that
través
family.
de su familia ordenada y las cabezas de esa familia,
apostles, prophets, teachers, evangelists, and so forth.
apóstoles, profetas, maestros, evangelistas y de ahí en fuera,
And we don't despise them,
y si no los despreciamos,
because we have a natural tendency to despise any other person with 5 fingers,
Porque-
leading us, guiding us, correcting us, or even suggesting what we should be doing.
tenemos una tendencia a
We
despreciar a
despise
otra
them in our
persona
heart.
que tenga 5 dedos.
We resent it.
Resentimos que nos corrijan, que nos instruyan, que nos digan lo que tenemos que hacer.
And as long as you harbor that resentment, let me help you,
Y siempre
you're going
cuando-
nowhere fast.
Siempre y cuando tú lleves ese resentimiento en tu corazón, no vas a ir a ningún lado y rápido.
You're taking a long walk
Te estás tomando un largo paseo
off a short pier.
en un corto embarcadero.
I have learned
Yo he aprendido
not to despise
no despreciar
the correction
la corrección
of Yahuwah.
de Yahweh.
I'm still learning.
Todavía estoy
I've been
aprendiendo.
doing this for almost 34 years,
He estado haciendo esto por casi 34 años.
and I'm still learning.
Y todavía estoy aprendiendo.
I'm still being corrected.
Todavía estoy siendo
How I
corregido.
handle my wife,
Cómo controlar a mi, o cómo administrar a mi esposa,
families,
a mi familia,
children,
a mis hijos
and the sheep that have been entrusted to my
y las
care.
ovejas que han sido encomendadas a mi cuidado.
I'm still being corrected.
Todavía estoy siendo
In the
corregido.
past, I was maybe too harsh,
En el pasado quizás era demasiado
too
rudo,
quick,
demasiado rápido,
too condemning.
demasiado condenador.
I'm a wiser,
Soy
more
más
stable,
sabio, más
more mature
estable,
leader. Why?
un líder más maduro. ¿Por qué?
Because I was corrected.
Porque fui corregido.
And I received correction through other
Y
leaders.
recibí corrección a través de otros líderes.
And I went out and made the same mistake. And I
Y
said, you
fui
know,
e
that
hice
rabbi
el
was
mismo
right.
error. Y dije, sabes, ese rabino estaba en lo cierto.
I should have listened to him.
Debí haberle escuchado.
So the fact that we are being corrected by the Father of Spirits is to give us spiritual abundance and life.
Entonces el hecho de que estemos siendo
Not to punish
corregidos
us.
por el Abba de los espíritus es para darnos una vida mucho más plena en espíritu, no para castigarnos.
Now you and I can start to love Yahuwah with all our heart.
Y hoy ustedes y yo podemos comenzar a amar a Yahuwah de todos nuestros corazones.
Because he will never again punish you.
Porque ya nunca más te va a castigar.
You're a child of Calvary. You're a child of Golgotha. You're a child of the resurrection.
Eres-
Somebody!
Eres un hijo del Calvario, un hijo de la resurrección, un hijo de Gólgota,
So how much punishment is left?
un hijo de la resurrección. Entonces, ¿cuánto castigo queda?
0.
0.
So now I can draw closer.
Entonces ya puedo acercarme más.
I want to get closer.
Quiero acercarme más.
I want to become more familiar
Quiero familiarizarme
with
mucho
the only
más
one, the only Father
con el único Abba
who had never rejected me,
que nunca me rechazó,
who never cast me out.
que nunca me echó fuera.
John 6:37.
Juan 6:37.
All that the Father gives to me will come to me,
Todo lo que el Abba me da vendrá a mí.
and he that comes to me,
Y el que viene a mí,
I will in no
yo de
wise
ninguna manera
cast out.
lo echaré fuera.
Dad rejected me, Mom rejected
Papi me
me.
rechazó,
The
mami
ice
me
cream man didn't
rechazó.
stop at my
El
door.
nevero no llegaba a mi casa.
They laughed at me in camp.
Se
They didn't choose
burlaban de
me for the
mí. En
team.
el campamento no me seleccionaban para el equipo.
They ignored me in
Me
camp,
ignoraban
in
en el
school.
campamento, en la escuela.
They made fun of me.
Se burlaban de mí.
I was
Fui
rejected.
rechazado.
I wasn't chosen for
No
sports.
fui escogido para
I
los
wasn't chosen for
deportes ni
cheerleading.
para echar porras.
And here comes the Abba.
Y aquí viene el Abba
And he says,
y dice,
come sit in my lap.
ven y siéntate aquí a mi regazo.
Out of 7 billion, I've chosen
De
you.
7 billones a ti te he seleccionado.
And let me show you the future.
Y déjame enseñarte el futuro.
It's all about life.
Todo se trata de Jaim, vida.
Leonard Cohen was wrong.
Leonard Cohen estaba
He said the
equivocado.
future is murder.
Dijo que el futuro es asesinato.
Not for us.
No para
So why would we
nosotros.
run away
Entonces, ¿para qué echarnos a correr?
from the Father of spirits?
Del agua de los ruajim,
Because in our
espíritus.
stubbornness and pride, we don't understand that a lot of that loving correction
Porque en nuestra terquedad y nuestro orgullo no entendemos que mucha de esa corrección
is going to be dispensed
va a ser dispensada
by the staff,
por la vara,
by the hospital staff.
por la vara del hospital.
When you go to a hospital, would you go into the closet and take medicine?
Por el personal del hospital. Cuando vas a un hospital, vas y te tomas el medicamento en el
Would you
closet.
lie down on the table in the operating room and begin to cut yourself open?
Te acuestas tú solito en la la mesa de operación y cortarte para hacer tu propia operación.
That's what we do.
Eso es lo que hacemos.
We despise those who come
Despreciamos a los que vienen
with correction.
con la
We
corrección.
begin to hate them and get bitter
Comenzamos
in
a
our heart.
odiarlos, a amargarnos en el
Instead of
corazón.
realizing
En lugar de reconocer
that's the only way
que esa es la única manera
I'm going to get fixed.
que voy a ser arreglado.
Because the Father doesn't treat me as a ger
Porque el Abba no me trata como un extranjero
or as a foreigner,
o como un extraño,
but as a child who was taken back into the restoration of the tabernacle of David.
sino como un hijo que ha sido tomado de nuevo en la restauración de la casa de David.
And He's going to send somebody my way.
Y va a enviar a alguien por mi
He's not going to
camino.
ignore me.
No me va a ignorar.
And what's going to be my attitude when that somebody shows up?
¿Y cuál va a ser mi actitud cuando esa persona se presente?
What's going to be our attitude
¿Cuál va a ser nuestra actitud
when that somebody shows up?
cuando esa persona se presente?
We don't walk into a hospital and cut ourselves open.
No entramos a un hospital y a cortarnos
And
solitos.
pop a billion pills, we don't even know what's on those things.
Ni nos tomamos un billón de
What it
píldoras
is.
sin saber lo que son, lo que hacen.
What do?
¿Qué hacemos?
We receive that which the staff
Recibimos aquello que el personal
dispenses.
dispensa.
Things are done decently
Las cosas se hacen decentemente
and in order.
y en orden.
Only in the kingdom of Yeshua do we
Solo-
feel like we don't want any order and we despise all those who come to us with a healthy dose of correction, not punishment.
Solo en el reino de Yahuwah es que despreciamos a aquellos que vienen a nosotros con una dosis sana de corrección, de orden y no castigo.
We don't see it the right way.
No lo vemos de la manera correcta.
The reason Yahuwah sends leaders into your life to correct you
La razón por la que Yahuwah envía líderes a tu vida a corregirte
is as a filter.
es como un filtro,
Because you know the truth.
porque sabes la
It is a
realidad.
fearful thing
Es una cosa temerosa
to fall into the hand
caer en las
of the
manos
living Yahuwah.
del Yahuwah
It's better that
viviente.
Shaliach or a pastor corrects you
Es mejor que Sholiach o un pastor te corrija
than Yahuwah corrects you.
que Yahuwah te corrija.
Because A, He doesn't punish you.
Porque en primer lugar Él no te castiga,
But when He corrects you,
pero cuando Él te corrige,
trust me,
confía en mí,
it'll be a full correction.
será una corrección completa.
So instead of despising the leaders who He sends,
Así que en lugar de despreciar a los líderes a quien él ha enviado,
what should we do?
¿qué debemos de hacer?
Humble ourselves
Humillarnos
and say,
y
yep,
decir sí,
it's time to change.
es tiempo de cambiar.
Yep,
Sí,
yep.
sí.
Anything that the man or the woman of Yahuwah says, it's not going to bother me.
Cualquier cosa que diga el varón o la mujer de Yahuwah no me va a molestar.
Say whatever you have to say.
Que diga lo que quiera y tenga
Say
que
whatever the
decir.
Ruach wants you to
Que
say.
diga lo que la Ruach quiere que diga.
Whatever you say, I'm going to apply to myself
Lo
because
que-
Lord knows it's time to change.
Lo que quiera decir lo voy a aplicar a mí mismo porque Yahuwah sabe que es tiempo para cambiar.
That's the attitude.
Esa es la actitud.
That's the attitude
Esa es la actitud
for victory.
para el triunfo.
In hebreo,
En hebreo, en ibrit,
nitzachon.
nitajón.
That's the attitude.
Esa es la actitud.
Instead, we sit there and we resent.
En lugar nos sentamos ahí a resentir.
We resent.
Resentir.
But if I really want to be all that I can be,
Pero si yo realmente quiero ser todo lo que quiero ser,
I want to go to a teaching.
yo quiero ir a una
I want to
enseñanza.
hear the word of life.
Quiero oír la palabra del
I want to
resplandor.
be encouraged and promoted and
Quiero
built
ser
up in my holy
animados,
faith.
animado y levantado, edificado en mi fe
But
apartada.
darn it, I ain't going back to that place.
Pero yo no voy a regresar a aquel lugar.
I ain't going back to that
No voy a
congregation
regresar a aquella congregación
if there's not some correction
si no hay algo de corrección
for me.
para mí.
I have people in this community who love correction,
Yo tengo a personas aquí en esta comunidad que les gusta, aman la corrección.
and there are those who don't.
Y hay aquellos que no.
The ones who love correction
Los que aman la corrección
are on their way
están en camino
into the ministry
al ministerio
and being mightily used.
y a ser fuertemente usados.
So if I were a free agent,
Así que si yo fuera un libre agente
and I am no longer a free
y
agent,
ya no soy un libre agente,
I would take my family
tomaría a mi familia
to a place
a un
where
lugar
I felt
en donde yo sienta
that the message
que el mensaje
was there not
está
only
ahí,
to encourage me
no solo para animarme
and to lift me up
y a levantarme
and tell me everything that I'm doing
y
right,
decirme todo lo que estoy haciendo correctamente,
but also speak into my life
pero igual hablar a mi vida
so I could be all Yahweh wants me.
para que yo pueda hacer todo lo que Yahweh quiere
Instead
que
of
yo
getting
sea.
bitter
En lugar de amargarme
and resenting,
y resentir las
I
cosas,
begin to see the man or woman of Yah
comenzaría a ver al varón y a la mujer de Yahweh
as a filter
como un filtro
for the Father.
para el Abba.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
It's better
Es mejor
to be subject
estar sujeto
to our Heavenly
a
Father
nuestro Abba firmamental,
because He will never punish us.
porque nunca nos castigará.
Verse 10.
Verso 10.
For truly our earthly
Porque
parents,
ciertamente nuestros papás terrenales,
Ibrahim 12:10,
Hebreos 12:10,
for the few days of their life disciplined us
por unos cuantos días de su vida nos corrigieron, disciplinaban,
after their own nature
como a ellos les parecía,
and their own understanding.
de acuerdo a su propio
See,
entendimiento.
that's part of the problem.
Y ese es parte del problema.
When we got corrected by mom and dad, a lot of times it was in their own nature, their own carnal nature.
Cuando
Anger.
éramos corregidos por mamá y papá, muchas veces era en su propia esencia, en su enojo, en su propio entendimiento,
Loss of patience.
la falta de paciencia.
And so they lashed out at
Y
us.
por eso nos
Or
golpeaban.
deviant nature.
O de su esencia malvada.
Physical or verbal abuse.
A través del abuso verbal o físico.
Why?
¿Por qué?
Because that's all they understood.
Porque eso es lo único que ellos
They
entendían.
did not have the understanding of heavenly Abba.
No tenían el entendimiento del Abba
They did
firmamental,
not have the motivation
ni la motivación
of heavenly Abba.
del Abba firmamental.
They did not have it within their mortal, carnal, temporal nature
No lo tenían dentro de su esencia carnal, mortal, temporal,
to discipline us
de corregirnos o disciplinarnos
in the right way.
en la manera correcta.
When they got angry,
Cuando se enojaban,
they went out to hurt us,
nos querían lastimar,
to punish us.
castigarnos.
I'll say that
Lo
again.
diré de nuevo.
Our earthly parents, at one time or another,
Nuestros papás terrenales en un momento u
set out
otro
and determined
se decidieron
through lack of
a
understanding
través de la falta de entendimiento
either to hurt us,
o lastimarnos
despite their denials,
a pesar de sus negaciones
or to punish
o
us
castigarnos
because they didn't have understanding.
porque no tenían entendimiento.
They thought that part of their job as a parent is to punish their children when they're bad.
Pensaban que parte de su deber como papás era castigar a sus hijos cuando se portaban mal.
But the Father of spirits doesn't work that way.
Pero el Abba de los Ruachim no funciona
He
así.
finds someone to punish instead of us.
Él encuentra a alguien a quien castigar en lugar de
So that we're
nosotros,
only left with the family of leadership that will guide us back on course.
para quedarnos nosotros con la familia del liderazgo que nos puede conducir en el curso correcto.
You see that? Our earthly parents did not have it within their nature
Nuestros papás terrenales no lo tenían en su
to
esencia,
do it the right way
hacerlo de la manera correcta,
because they lacked understanding.
porque les faltaba entendimiento.
They didn't understand that the Father of spirits does not punish his children.
No entendían que el Abba de Ruachim, el papá de los espíritus, no castiga a sus hijos.
Once they're declared righteous.
Una vez que son declarados tzadikim, justos,
Righteousness
rectos,
only comes from Yeshua.
y la rectitud solo viene de Yahshua.
So if those children were not believers in Yeshua and they themselves, the parents, were not believers,
Entonces, si esos niños no eran creyentes en Yahushua y si esos papás tampoco eran creyentes,
they lacked understanding.
les faltaba entendimiento.
If they were believers,
Si eran creyentes,
they should have understood
debieron haber entendido
that parenting is to correct
que el ser papás es para corregir
and not to punish.
y no
So
castigar.
most of the time when we got punished
Así que la mayoría del tiempo cuando éramos castigados
was because of their lack of understanding,
era por causa de su falta de entendimiento,
their own
su
carnality,
propia carnalidad
and their own benefit.
y su propio
It was
provecho.
not for our benefit.
No era para
They
nuestro
were
provecho.
pissed off.
Estaban
Pardon
enojadísimos.
my French. They had lost patience.
Habían perdido la paciencia.
They had come to an end, to their wits' end.
Habían llegado hasta el fin, colmar su paciencia.
So they lashed out at you.
Así que echaban los golpes hacia uno.
My father was the same way.
Mi papá era igualito.
He was a vicious, angry man
Era un hombre enojado,
who would take
enojón,
pleasure
vicioso, que tomaba
and made him
placer
feel better about himself
y se sentía mejor acerca de sí
to
mismo.
abuse me.
Abusarme
Physically,
físicamente,
verbally,
verbalmente
and yes, even in inappropriate ways.
y sí, aún en maneras no apropiadas.
And when he spanked me,
Y cuando él me golpeaba,
it was to wound me
era para lastimarme.
because he figured if I'm wounded,
Porque pensaba que si me lastimaba, si estaba yo golpeado,
that he was being a father.
que estaba siendo un papá.
And here comes Yeshua,
Y aquí viene Yahushua,
his father,
su papá,
and he wounded his own son
y él golpeó a su propio hijo,
so that the only thing left for us
para que lo único que quedara para nosotros
is some different types
fuera diferentes tipos
of correction.
de corrección.
So we need to have a change of heart
Así
and
que
mind.
tenemos que
Every one of
tener
you,
un
every one of
cambio
you, every one of
de
you, today
corazón y mente, todos ustedes y hoy.
we look
Vemos,
for godly leaders
buscamos líderes
in a
de
functional
Elohim,
body,
en un cuerpo que esté funcionando
a healthy
correctamente,
community.
una comunidad sana,
And we say,
y decimos
and we
y
recognize
reconocemos
that they understand
que ellos comprenden
the gospel,
el evangelio,
that we are not to punish each
que
other.
no tenemos que castigarnos o golpearnos el uno al otro.
So if a spirit-filled leader
Así que si un líder lleno de la ruach
puts somebody out the camp,
pone a alguien fuera del campamento,
it's not to punish them.
no es para
It's
castigarles,
for them to
es para que ellos
come to their senses
vengan a entender
and be corrected.
y sean corregidos.
The motivation
La motivación
is not sensual,
no es sensual,
carnal.
carnal,
It is from above
viene de lo alto
and not from
y
beneath.
no de abajo.
You see the difference?
¿Ven la diferencia?
Everything that we do as leaders
Todo lo que hacemos siendo líderes
is to make sure
es para confirmar
that it is the father of spirits, not the fathers of
que
carnality,
es el Abba de Ruachim, no el Abba de lo carnal,
that are speaking into our
que
lives
están hablando a nuestras vidas
and care enough
y que les importa lo
to take the
suficiente
time
para tomarse el tiempo
to guide us
para guiarnos
and to direct
y
us.
dirigirnos.
There's no greater love.
No hay mayor ahabá.
What kind of parenting,
Amor.
what kind of love is it
¿Qué tipo de amor es?
if Yahuwah doesn't put people in our lives
Si Yahuwah no pone a personas en
that are
nuestras
submitted to His
vidas
kingdom,
que estén sometidos a su reino,
willing
dispuestos
to be the bad guy,
a ser los malos,
willing
dispuestos
to be the bad
a
guy,
ser los malos,
to say, hey,
para decir,
hey,
hey,
don't be doing that.
no hagas eso.
I've had to say that many times.
Lo tuve que decir muchas veces.
Don't be doing that.
No hagas eso.
Don't be taking new people and introducing them to rebels.
No introduzcas a nuevas personas para introducirlos a rebeldes.
I've had to do stuff like that many times.
Yo he tenido que hacer muchas de esas cosas
I've
varias veces.
had to say things like,
Les he tenido que decir cosas como,
you know, there's
¿Saben?
a lot of people in the congregation
hay mucha gente en la congregación
who are mature,
que son maduros
and it would benefit
y
you
les provecharía
to spend more time
pasar más tiempo
with them.
con ellos.
Hello?
¿sí?
than with the people
Que con la gente
you're hanging out with
con
now.
la que pasas tiempo en este momento.
Whoa. See, now the carnal mind says,
La mente carnal dice,
that's a controlling
ese es
spirit.
un espíritu controlador.
Here's the problem with everybody who thinks that that is control.
Pero aquí viene el problema con todos aquellos que piensan que ese
When
es
you
control.
isolate yourself and you withdraw from fellowship,
Cuando te aíslas y te retiras de la convivencia,
you think you're now in control,
piensas que estás en control,
but you're not in control.
pero no estás en control.
Unclean spirits,
Espíritus inmundos,
demons,
demonios,
have isolated folks,
tienen a personas aisladas
and they are in control.
y están ellos en
So all
control.
those listening by way of radio and television,
Así que todos aquellos que están
need to
escuchando
find
a
a
través de
fellowship
radio y televisión tienen que encontrar una convivencia
where you and I can be held
en
accountable.
donde tú y yo podemos ser puestos a cuentas.
Because when we think that, okay, we're going to isolate
Porque cuando pensamos, ok, voy a aislarme,
because we don't want to be controlled,
porque no queremos ser controlados.
that's the height of deception.
Esa es la cima de la
Without that
decepción.
spiritual covering, now you really are going to be controlled in your isolation.
Sin esa cobertura de la Ruach, ya vas a ser controlado en tu
By your own
aislamiento
minds and thoughts,
por tu propia mente y tus
and by
pensamientos
the unclean
y
spirits
por los espíritus
who
inmundos
have got you
que te tienen
right where they want you.
ahí donde te quieren.
And that's why the scripture warns
Y es
us
por eso que las escrituras nos
in
advierten
Hebrews 9:25.
en Hebreos 9:25.
Do not forsake the assembling of yourselves
No
together
abandonen.
as the manner is of some is, even more so as you see the day of Yeshua's return approaching.
No abandonen la costumbre de reunirse y convivir, especialmente así como se están avecinando los tiempos finales de la venida de Mashiach.
Isn't it better that you and I be subject
¿Que no sería mejor que tú y yo nos sujetáramos
to the Father of spirits
al Abba de Ruahim
and have life?
y que tuviéramos vida?
And how does the Father of spirits minister
¿Y cómo es que el Abba de los Ruahim ministra
to Israelites
a israelitas
in the body?
en el cuerpo?
Let's end with the next verse.
Veamos al próximo
One
verso.
more verse,
Un verso más.
and then we'll be finished for today.
Y acabaremos por hoy.
Is this some vital information?
Yes.
Is
Esta
this
es
some vital
información
understanding?
vital. Es este entendimiento vital,
Es-
información vital.
They're some of the keys to life.
Estas son algunas de las claves a la vida.
It's not only vital, it's some of the keys
No solamente es vital, pero son algunas de las claves
to enjoying life
Las llaves
as a believer.
para gozar la vida siendo un creyente.
Hebrews 12:10.
Hebreos 12:10.
We did the first part.
Yes.
Part B.
Segunda parte del
But
verso 10.
Yahweh
capítulo
does
12.
not discipline us
Pero Yahweh no nos corrige, no nos disciplina
through his chosen leaders
a través de sus líderes seleccionados
to relieve low self-esteem,
Para-
stress, anger,
aliviar la baja autoestima, el estrés, el enojo,
their own baggage that our parents had that were never healed.
las cargas que
Now they
tenían
threw it at
nuestros
us.
papás que nunca fueron sanadas y que nos tiraron a nosotros.
Nope.
No,
When he sends correction,
cuando Él envía corrección,
and this is the only motivation.
esta es la única motivación.
See, our earthly parents are motivated by many motivations.
De nuestros papás terrenales son
Mostly
motivados
carnal.
por muchas motivaciones y la mayoría de ellas carnales,
Base in nature.
bajas en la esencia.
But
en su
whatever
esencia.
correction that the Father of Ruachim
Pero cualquiera que sea la corrección que el Abba de Ruachim,
Allows.
espíritus, permite
and brings
y trae,
is always for the same motive.
siempre es para el mismo
So
motivo.
whether the correction comes to you,
Para que si la corrección viene a ti,
or to you,
o a ti,
or to me,
o a mí,
praise his name.
exaltados sea
Wherever
su
that
nombre.
correction comes to,
De donde venga esa corrección,
it is always because of a pure motive.
es siempre a causa de un motivo puro.
And here it is.
Y aquí viene,
That we might join
para que podamos ser partícipes
his likeness.
de su semejanza.
That we may begin to act less and less like our earthly parents. Notice,
Que actuemos menos y menos como nuestros papás terrenales,
And-
noten,
more and more
y más
like him.
como Él.
So when he brings, there are different types of correction,
Así que hay diferentes tipos de corrección,
but there's only one motive.
Pero solo hay un motivo,
Yahweh keeps it simple.
que Yahuwah lo mantiene simple.
In the end,
Al fin,
when I'm done with the various corrections,
cuando haya acabado con las varias correcciones,
I
de
want
disciplina,
you
yo quiero que tú
to be like me.
seas como yo. Aleluya.
I want you.
Yo quiero que tú,
There's no other way to be like me.
No hay
There's no
ninguna
shortcut. There's no
otra
shortcut. You can put on
manera
your desktop and click a mouse.
de ser como yo, no hay una vía ni una vía corta,
Click a mouse.
como cuando haces clic con tu ratón
Clic.
de tu ordenador.
You can't just click.
No solo puedes hacer clic.
I wish there was.
Me gustaría que existiera tal manera.
I wish there was.
Me gustaría.
There's no shortcut.
No hay vía corta.
But when those corrections come
Pero cuando llegan esas correcciones
from the Father of Spirits,
del Abba de Ruach,
not punishment.
no castigo,
Take that out of your thinking.
quiten eso de su pensamiento.
Yahweh does not punish his
Yahuwah no castiga
the 153 fish.
a sus 153 peces.
In Hebrew, B'nai Elohim.
En hebreo quiere decir Benai, Elohim, hijos
It
de
is for
Elohim.
us to join and be a participant and a partaker
Es para que nosotros nos unamos y lleguemos a ser partícipes
of his holiness.
de su apartación, de su kedushá,
Now, why is this so
santidad. ¿Y por qué es esto tan importante?
That we partake of his
De
holiness.
participar de su apartación.
That we're less like our parents, less like our friends, less like our spouse, and more like him. Why?
Seamos menos como nuestros papás, nuestros amigos y más como Él. Aleluya.
For it is written,
Porque está escrito,
without holiness,
sin apartación,
what? No man
ningún hombre
will see Yah.
verá a Yahuwah.
You ain't getting in.
No vas a entrar.
Why would you want to be in a clean place with a clean Elohim?
¿Para qué quieres
When
estar
we're
en
filthy and dirty.
un lugar limpio
In our
con un
thinking.
Elohim limpio cuando nuestro pensamiento
actions.
es sucio, nuestras acciones son sucias,
In our behaviors.
nuestro comportamiento?
So let's get this straight.
Así que
As we
entendamos esto
close,
al cerrar.
without holiness,
Sin la apartación, kedushá,
no man shall see Yah.
santidad, ningún hombre verá a Yahuwah.
Oh. So in order to enjoy my heavenly home,
Entonces, para yo poder gozar de mi casa firmamental
keep me out of trouble that I create for myself
y mantenerme fuera de los problemas que yo creo para mí mismo,
down here,
aquí abajo,
he has to send
Él tiene que enviar
correction.
corrección.
Yeah.
Sí,
Because it's designed for you to begin
porque está diseñado para que tú comiences
to be weaned off of your earthly parents' nature
a ser destetado de la esencia de tus papás
and to be a partaker of
y
his
comenzar a ser un partícipe
kadosh nature.
de su esencia kadosh del Abba.
So when we understand that that's preparing us for the New Jerusalem,
Entonces,
correction is preparing us
Entonces cuando comprendemos que la corrección, el entrenamiento o la disciplina nos están preparando para la nueva Jerusalén,
For the
entrar
new-
en su presencia,
for the New Jerusalem,
la nueva Jerusalén,
we no longer despise it.
ya no lo despreciamos.
It's a mere reminder
Es un solo recuerdo
that and proof
y prueba
that we're not Gentiles,
que no somos gentiles, Baruch Hashem
that
Yahuwah,
we are
que sí somos
Yisrael.
Israel, Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
We pray that today's unity service has brought us into one accord.
Oramos que este servicio
Hashem
de
Yeshua
unidad
HaMashiach.
nos haya traído a un acuerdo en el nombre de Yeshua el
Please
Mashiach.
share these teachings once we're off the air.
Por favor.
You can just click share and get the word out.
Compartan estas enseñanzas una vez que estemos
We love you.
ya desconectados
We're grateful.
y simplemente compártanlos vía sus medios sociales. Les damos toda Rabá. Muchas gracias
And we count it a privilege
y lo contamos un privilegio
to have spent these 3 hours
haber pasado estas 3 horas
with you all.
con ustedes.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
From Goshen, Mitzvah.
Desde Goshen Bat Safon.
Thank you. Cristo